All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio, right here on Opera, and today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689, or blindsofsacramento.com. Now, today, we've got a gentleman in here, Mr. Tim Malone. How you doing, my friend?
Oh, fine. Good to be here, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm glad you made it. I liked your energy at that event. That was a great event. And New Win really puts on just some amazing events. She came on the show about 6 or 8 months or so ago. And, just a ton of energy, and she's just really good people. You're here. We're going to be talking about your company, Now Plan. I'm really curious to see what you guys do and what you're all about. And just in a nutshell, my understanding is you're helping students get into school and find work.
Correct. We focus on teaching students at the earliest possible level to plan their career, because you have an advantage. It's kind of like Tiger Woods started playing golf when he was 2 or 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know what he was able to accomplish because he knew what he wanted to do, and he started very young. Mm-hmm. So the younger you start in focusing on your career, you have an advantage on the people who don't know. Kobe Bryant was similar. He focused on basketball, and his work ethic was incredible. Mm-hmm. I mean, when he first started out, he wasn't an exceptional athlete, but his work ethic made him one of the best basketball players in the world.
There's a funny story about Jerry Rice, and he would be at training, and they throw the football, and his job was to catch the football, right? He
Correct.
was in catching training. Do you know this story?
No, I know he his father was a bricklayer, so he used to catching bricks or something, helping his father.
So he would catch the football, and then he would always run it to the end zone. And so where everybody else would just catch the football and then throw it back, or catch the football and drop the football, he would catch the football and run it to the end zone, and then catch the next football and run it to the end zone. So when it was time for him to, be playing a game and catch the football, it was just muscle memory to just run it to the end zone.
That's smart. That's really smart.
That was his advantage.
Yeah, that's the kind of advantage that you have when you have that extra desire and determination about you. You do more than what the other person does.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant was similar in basketball. His mother would make him do more than what the coach asked him to do. And so when he got the MVP, Most Valuable Player Award, it was a touching speech. He said, "Mom, you're the MVP." His father was never around, but his mother taught him to do extra.
Yeah.
The plus factor. What do you more than others? That separates you from
Absolutely.
the rest of the group.
100%. Yeah. I always say just do what everyone else isn't doing.
That's a good way to put it.
That's literally what I tell people. Just do what everyone else isn't doing. So outside of that, who is Tim Malone?
Well, I have an interesting story.
You're Karl Malone's brother, right?
Yeah, I might be related to Karl Malone. I look a lot like him if you see him physically. Look at my picture and look at me. So there's a chance that we're related. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Karl Malone grew up in Louisiana. But my story is that I grew up with an intact family. I have 4 siblings, 2 brothers and 2 sisters. And I'm the youngest boy of the family. And I have one sister who's younger than I am. And we grew up outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a little town called Rankin, PA. And steel mill town, working class family, where most people, when they graduated from high school, they expected them to go work in a steel mill. And that's something that I never wanted to do. I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to leave Pittsburgh and explore the world.
So I just pulled up my dad's high school, Central Bucks West. You know Central Bucks West?
I've heard of it.
So that's where he went to school. That is in Doylestown, Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah.
How far is that?
I don't know exactly, but I've heard of it. Pennsylvania has a lot of small towns all over the place. And usually, if you haven't heard of it, and you grew up in Pittsburgh, it's on the Philly side. And if people in the Philly haven't heard of it, it's usually on the Pittsburgh side. But I think that school was closer to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
So you were West Philadelphia, born and raised?
Yeah. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right.
Okay, so where did your passion come in to build this? I mean, and how long have you been doing this now?
Well, actually, I've had the website out for quite a while in the business, quite a while, but I was teaching school. In fact, I just retired about 3 or 4 years ago as a second grade elementary school teacher.
I'll be darned.
One of many careers, but my initial career was in social service and the ministry, and I also even did consulting work in Darwin, Australia. So I took my wife and 4 kids to Darwin, Australia, where we helped the Aboriginals to put together a program, a structure, an organization, so they can get funds from the federal government of Australia.
So you're all about helping and teaching and educating. You've been doing this your whole life.
That's my calling. It's never been a business per se. It's been something. See, I believe in legacy. And
now you're speaking my language.
Yeah.
Everyone's always like, man, you need to be making more money. I could give 2 craps about that, man.
You're right. I mean, Key, it's we're doing what we do.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together because it's all about legacy. It's what you leave behind.
It's what you leave behind. And, there's a story about this guy. I've told this story a billion times, and yet nobody's heard this story. There's a story about this guy. He has a little fishing boat. He's out in the middle of whatever, and he's just out there fishing, and he'll catch 6 or 8 fish, and at the end of the day, he keeps 2 fish for himself, and he takes the other 6 or 8 fish, whatever, and he takes those and sells them to the little market. One day this billionaire comes in on this big old yacht, and he's sitting there, and he's sitting at the bar at this little, on the dock there, this wherever. And so he asked the bartender, what's the story about that little fishing boat? And he goes, it's just some local guy. He just goes out fishing every day and catches a couple of fish, brings the fish in. He goes, that's interesting. So at the end of the day, the guy comes in with his little bucket of fish. And he goes, hey, you mind if I go out there with you tomorrow? He goes, yeah, be here bright and early or you're getting left behind. Said, okay. So the billionaire shows up, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. He's ready to go. And so the guy shows up with his little rinky-dink bucket and his little fishing boat. And he goes out there, and they're sitting out there. It must be noon, 1 o'clock, and billionaire's just having the time of his life. He's like, this is absolutely incredible. He goes, you got to do this for a living or something, man. He goes, we got to turn this thing into a company. We could make all this money. And he's like, I don't know, man. He's like, no, think about it. Think about it right now. Think about this. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do? He goes, I don't know, probably go fishing. So the point is, just do it.
Right.
Just do what you do. The money is, as long as you pay your bills and you get a roof over your head and you get a full belly, I mean, who cares?
Someone once told me, and I thought it was pretty wise, he said, whenever you know when enough is enough, you will always have enough.
Man.
That's
Man. That is insane. Because what happens is we get on social media and we see the guy with the Bugatti or whatever, and then you're like, man, and you start stressing out. And then you put that in the back of your mind. You're like, I'm good right here. I've got a nice car. I've got a nice wife. Got a nice dog. Got a nice home. I got a full belly. I'm good. I got a couple bucks in the bank. I'm good. And then you realize you're good. And then you see somebody else with their whatever, and you're like, oh, I want that. Now you're stressed out again, trying to chase after what he's got.
That's the problem with the American dream. The American dream can actually be an American nightmare because if you misinterpret the American dream, it's all about greed,
It is. It really is.
And the people at the top, they never have enough,
And they're never happy.
Yeah.
And the risk is insane.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
I was in the Ferrari industry for a long time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so we do a lot of stuff with Ferrari. We'll show you, once we're done recording, I'll go over our platform and show you what we do. And there's a whole reason that I introduce people to the Ferrari world, because there's some people that want it, and there's some people that want to stay the hell away from it. But if you don't know what it is, if you don't know it's there, then how do you know what you're striving for? Right? You've got to experience it. Some people are like, dude, this is what I want. And some people are like, there's no way. And then me, I always wanted it. And then once I got into it, I was like, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm doing this. I'm doing radio shows for free, basically.
Well, bless your heart. I mean,
that's it.
because the people that listen to your show are the most important people in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want something that's
Our audience is so loyal.
more important than material things.
We're doing all these networking events. No, I can't say networking events. They're more lifestyle events. Like we have the Ferrari Challenge. We have our rally that we do every year. We just had that a couple weeks ago. Last night we had the Mastermind, our first Mastermind event. The first Mastermind event sold out in 2.5 hours.
Oh, good.
The second one, which is the one we sent the tickets out for last night, sold out in 15 minutes.
Wow, very good.
No, so the audience we have is so loyal. It's incredible. Okay, so let's go back to what you're doing. So a family comes to you and says, my son is 12 years old. Where do you start?
Well, you start by talking with the student and the family together and say, many young people don't know what they want, and that's typical. That's normal.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of searching. So the first thing that we do is we talk to them about, what do you like? Mm-hmm. What do you enjoy? And what we do is we separate something that they enjoy that's non-monetary, that may not be something that they can make money with, from something that they enjoy that's monetary. Mm-hmm. And we say, listen, if you have something that you enjoy, collecting bugs or something that may not be non-monetary, you won't make money from it, or
but you can get into veterinary work, you can get into agricultural work, you can get into a lot of different things because you're still doing what you're correct. I wanted to be a rock star, and look at what I do for a living.
Right. Well, you are a rock star, even more important, because the message that you give is much better than most rock.
Well, my career started on stage. I played music, and that's what I did. I graduated high school and went out and did records, and went on and played on stage for years and years. And then, I own a film studio, so we produce movies, and so I write all the music for the movies.
Wow.
And then we have the radio show, so we're still behind a mic, so I'm still recording every day. And then, of course, the magazine. The magazine is kind of like ties everything together.
That's amazing, because now it's a digital world. So when I saw you at the networking event with the magazine and the person you featured was there, that was quite impressive.
Last night we had him on. He was at the event, the one on the cover, and he was the star. So
no,
funny.
That's great. I mean, I'm glad you do that, because that's something, you personalize it and you make it real, because it's people that that are here.
It's real people in our community that are making this thing. I take no credit for this. I was the brains behind building it, sure.
Right.
But without the people, we'd have nothing. Nobody would give a crap.
That teamwork makes the dream work.
Oh yeah.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Yeah. So keep going. So you had a 12-year-old that come in, and you're going to start talking to them about what they're passionate about, whether it's video games or whatever.
Whatever they enjoy, and we separate something that if they monetize it, they would lose the love for it.
Yes. Oh, God, I tell people that. Yeah,
there are some hobbies that you need to keep as a hobby.
Keep as a hobby and never get to know who your heroes are.
You know what? There's some truth to that, but I tell you, I met Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, but when you get to know Stevie Wonder, that's different.
Okay.
Meeting your heroes is one thing. Getting to know your heroes is another thing. Once you're in the industry, it ruins it. And then you have no more heroes.
That is true. I was reading about or listening to a little documentary on Luther Vandross, and they were talking about all these famous people he met, and the very serious negative experiences that he had with a lot of them. And these were like legends in the industry. And they just treated him like crap.
Yep.
So you've been there, done that. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So there is a difference between meeting them and getting to know them.
Yeah, you see their eyes in the magazine, and they've got the most beautiful eyes. And then you meet them in person, and you're like, "Good Lord, you are just an absolute piece of crap of a human being."
Yeah. It's funny, because this movie on Michael Jackson that came out.
Yes, what'd you think of it?
I didn't see it, but
I didn't see it either.
But I read, the reviews are, the critics pan it because they don't deal with Michael Jackson's sexual improprieties. But the people that go to see it, they love it because it didn't deal with that part. It just dealt with Michael Jackson. What I
found interesting about it, I never saw the movie, but what I found interesting about it is the family. The family would not let this picture be right or be out unless it was right. The family is the only one that really knew Michael, right?
Right.
And so, and the nephew was the one who played Michael.
Right.
Right? So you've got the family behind the film, and the family wouldn't let this movie come out unless it was right, which means that the movie's right. It's not like, see, Ray was really good because Ray was a part of it.
Yeah, sure. Ray
Right?
Charles. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Queen, the Queen movie, the Bohemian Rhapsody, was really good because Brian May and some of the other people
Was a
were
part of
involved
it.
in it. Yes.
Right.
But there's some of these movies that are just all wrong because it's wrong. It's
Yeah, they don't get it. Yeah, they're
historians made it, not the people that are in the family.
not right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting that the son of Jermaine that plays Michael Jackson did a fantastic job. And then someone told me they saw him in an interview, and he said that his father Jermaine got, children from 4 different women or something like that. And growing up, he barely even saw his father Jermaine Jackson, and he was shocked and surprised that all of a sudden, when he's in this movie, is such a success. Then Jermaine shows up. That's how his dad. So and only when the son's in the limelight does he come and claim them.
Sounds like a Jackson. That sounds like the family, does it not? Sounds like Jermaine's taken after Joe.
In families, there's always some kind of drama. They had to cut Janet Jackson out the film because she was against it completely. So she's not in the film. But again, I didn't see it. But I heard that as a film, it's pretty good.
So the families, we're going to go back to this. So the family, you start to figure those elements out, what they want to do, and then where do we go from there?
What they want to do, then they have to start a plan. It's a now plan. So what are the steps you take to achieve your dream? Someone wants to be a doctor, and they want to start at getting their degree in pre-med or biology at Stanford, Harvard, Yale, whatever, or even Sacramento State.
Yeah.
So they have to. What we do is we have them. You need to meet actual doctors in the specific field that you want to go into. If it's general practitioner, be a general practitioner. If you want to be a dentist, it's a dentist. And what type of dentistry? Do you want to focus on root canal, or just be general practice in dentistry? So what you have to do is focus exactly what you want to do, because unless you know exactly what you want to do, you don't have a target to shoot at.
Yeah. And so you help them facilitate all those elements, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. We work with the parents. We work with the students.
How long do you work with them? Do you kind of guide them all the way through the process from like elementary to college?
We could work with them as long as it takes, as long as they're willing to work with us.
Okay. Now, you have something called the 100-year plan. What is this?
The 100-year plan is that we help people to focus on the future, and even beyond their own lifetime. Most people don't live 100 years. So if you're learning about the 100-year plan and you're 12, you're talking about if you live 100 years, you'd be 112. But what we're talking about is that you really got to find out what's important in life. And to find out what's important in life, you got to look at something that you're doing that outlives you. In other words, it gives your life meaning. If your life has no meaning, then you're out there in a rat race like everybody else.
So let me tell you what I'm working on, and you can tell me whether or not I'm a complete lunatic, or you tell me I'm a genius, okay? So, my career started in music. I grew up heavily, a very abused kid. That's an understatement, but I'm not going to get into that in this episode. But music was my outlet. So I started with music, started building businesses, failed my first business. And then went on the road, played my music professionally, then launched my motorcycle shops. And I ran my motorcycle business for 18 years until I launched the magazine, which was last January. And then I only shut it down to focus everything on the magazine, which was, people would say that's stupid. You shut a business down that's pulling $80,000 a year for an idea, but that's what an entrepreneur does, literally.
Correct. That's correct.
I ran my Ferrari business for about 5-6 years back in about 15 years ago, and then books. I've written about 35 or so books, and then I've written about another 35 for other people. Of course, that ties back into the magazine because it's all publishing intellectual property. Radio shows we launched about 12 years ago. We were at one point on the radio in Seattle, Denver, Miami, and Sacramento. And then I've got the movies. We've done 5 movies. I've been in about another 3 or 4. And then, and that's my career, And so now what I'm looking at is land. And so I'm looking at land in New Mexico. I'm looking at buying raw land where nothing's out there. Because that's where they're building the solar farms and the wind farms and so forth. And so the hope is to buy this land, and as they start developing, they're going to need something. They're going to need to use that space. And so most people would look at it as, man, what a huge waste. You're buying land to this hopeful that someone's going to end up using this land. The land for me is the legacy. That's the brand, the Jon Robert Quinn brand. That's not my name. Jon Robert Quinn's not my name. That's my brand. And I launched this brand 30 years ago. And so for me, it's I buy the land, and if it never gets developed on, it's in the trust, and then it gets released. When I'm my passing, it gets released back to the county, and they can only use the land if it's being used for parks and for the proper
humanitarian benefit.
Yes, and then it has to have the brand, the Jon Robert Quinn Drive, Jon Robert Quinn Road, Jon Robert Quinn Boulevard, Jon Robert Quinn Park, Jon Robert, whatever it is, school, elementary school, whatever it is. The whole point is it keeps the name alive, because all of the product, from the music to the movies to the books to the radio shows, have all had a positive mention. Even the movies, which are mafia films, which are full of F-bombs and people being blown up, they're still positive. There's still entrepreneurial aspect in it, people aspiring, people growing, people becoming bigger. And so everything from the beginning has all had the same dimension to it. And so the legacy for me is the land, is that solid foundation. That's what I'm looking at. People would think I'm nuts.
Now that makes sense. You were talking about leaving it for social good, but also, I don't know if you have your children, but aren't the children going to inherit?
No kids.
No kids.
Yep. My businesses are my kids.
So you're talking about, that's why you're talking about total social benefit. Mm-hmm. No, it makes sense, but you're saying this is not going to, if the land exists, it's going to be used for something positive that benefits humanity.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't, you have no part of that land, right?
Yeah. It's mine.
Right.
And it stays inside the family trust, and then, goes whatever.
So you would need at least a younger trustee or a corporation to take care of it.
Oh, we have all the lawyers to handle.
Oh, you've already done that.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Yeah. You've
done everything, man. I mean,
we're having fun.
You're living a full life. I mean, I'm amazed at your personal story. It's fascinating.
It's pretty cool.
Have you written your own autobiography? Has that been written yet?
All of my books have my story, have different dimensions of my story, because they're all inspirational books.
But not one, the whole story in one book, like an autobiography.
No, there's too much. There's too much.
Then get someone like The Roots, Alex Haley.
Well, we did a series called Conversations with Legends. Mm-hmm. And so I don't remember if it was 2 or 3 or 4 books. I don't remember anyway. But we did a number of books called Conversations with Legends. And all they are is just stories of rock stars and athletes and CEOs and all the different people I've worked with over the years. They're just the stories. And people want to know those stories. I've worked with insane people, like just awesome stories. Leno, everybody. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Is there any person that you've come across in your life that had what you consider a major impact on your life? Or someone either you were very impressed with or very depressed with?
Joe Satriani, for me, was my childhood inspiration. He was the one that made me become the musician that I am, and still to this day inspires me. But the closer I got to him, the more I found that I didn't like him. And that's what I was saying. Never get to know your heroes. And, if he called my phone right now, I would jump to that opportunity to work with him, because he's a legend. But there's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how close I want to get without having my lawyer talk to his people.
Oh, okay.
Before we do anything, because there's been some disparity in some songs that have come out after I was working with his management and production. I had some music that was
Stolen from you?
I don't want to say that. That's I think the wrong word, but
Okay.
it's too damn close to be happy.
Okay.
And it's too far away to do anything about.
Okay.
And so,
Gotcha.
yeah, and so, again, like I say, it's one of those things where you're like, just, don't get too close to your heroes. Grant Cardone was another one of those.
Okay. The 10X guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of them. There's been some pretty cool stuff. The Saved by the Bell people. We had Joseph Ganiscoli from The Sopranos in our movies.
Okay.
And yeah, I much prefer the yous of the world than the thems of the world, because they're a bunch of divas and you're grounded and have your feet planted down.
Well, that says a lot about your insight into what's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Because as long as you're chasing the shiny object, you get up close to it, it blinds you.
Yeah. So, apart from that, Mr. Tim Malone, Nowplan dot, I don't know exactly how to pronounce that, but HEROKU app.com. And I would just say give him a call. 530-753-6148. 530-753-6148. Anything you want to add before we get out of here, brother?
Well, I just want to add that, time goes by very, very fast. So it's really important how you have to value your health. You have to value your time. You have to value the people that you're around. So whatever you're spending energy or time or money on, whatever it is, make sure it's important. Make sure it's value added. Mm-hmm. If it's not value added, don't do it. Cut it.
Yeah. I'll elaborate on that. When you're young, you've got all these aspirations. You want to have certain cars in your life and certain things in your life and certain people in your life, and you start to experience these things and you realize that there's no substance behind that crap. And so, I was in the Ferrari industry. I drove Porsches everywhere, and I've had the Mont Blanc pins, and I've had the Louis Vuitton bags, and I've done all the expensive, stupid stuff. And let me tell you, a $10 pen off of Amazon is actually a better pen than a Mont Blanc, believe it or not.
I hear you.
No, I'm dead serious. A bag from Amazon for $50 is better than a Louis Vuitton for $1,500. It's incredible just how big of a waste of money all that crap is. And my little Buick $115 oil change versus a $1,500 service on a Porsche, I'll take that any day.
You're a wise man.
Well, you have to experience it. You have to do it. You just have to do it. So, hey, thank you so much for being here, man.
Well, thank you for inviting me, and keep up the great work. And I appreciate all of the things that you do for the community.
We're just going to keep going. And for you guys, I'm going to read his number off one more time. Tim Malone, Nowplan, 530-753-6148. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.